In today's video, I'll be going over the design process, which is a series of steps that engineers follow to come up with a solution to a problem. This is also known as the engineering method. You're probably more familiar with the scientific method, which shares many similarities with the design process. As you can see from the diagram, each step in one method corresponds to one in the other. The overall ideas are the same, just adjusted to better suit one field over another. In scientific method, you do multiple trials of experiments to come to a conclusion about a question, while in engineering method, you create prototypes to hopefully develop the best solution to a problem. To elaborate more on the engineering method, let's apply it to build season. First, define the problem. There are many challenges that we face during season, but I'd say that the ultimate goal is to create a robot that can win matches and compete in this year's game. Now, what would it take to develop a robot like this? We have to do background research. What have winning teams done in the past? What has your team done in the past that was successful? How can we apply that knowledge to this year's competition? Before we can start trying to come up with possible solutions, we have to know the parameters in which we can build the robot. What are the size limitations? Are there certain strategies that we may be considering allowed? For this information, it's important to check the game manual. Now that we have a problem, information on this topic, and requirements of the robot, it's time to brainstorm. How do we want to build the robot? What sub-assemblies do we need? What kind of drivetrain? What kind of shooter system? The list goes on. For this step, it's essential to collaborate and get as many ideas as possible. From these ideas, choose the most promising one to create a prototype of. If you're having difficulty deciding, there are resources that could help. For instance, a weighted decision matrix is a handy tool for comparing different possibilities based on what is most important to you. The factor that's the most important is assigned the highest number in weighting, and each option is given a rating based on how well it performs in that category. This repeats for each category, and at the end, each score is multiplied by the weight and added to find a final score. The higher the score, the better the option. To see how this would work in real life, here's an example. From these end values, it's easy to see that option 2 is best suited for this situation. After you finish developing your prototype, test it to make sure that it can be used and performs how it was envisioned to. If there's still time left over and improvements could be made, improve upon the original design. No matter the success or failure of a prototype, make sure to document it and communicate your results. They can be referenced in future seasons when doing background research. In short, the design process is a guide that helps you solve a problem. You research a subject, brainstorm solutions, and test prototypes that are improved upon in order to get the best results. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps.